Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and this video was inspired by a Facebook conversation that I was having with some friends on Facebook. Friends who, I am not going to lie, I disagree with frequently and vigorously with on Facebook. But you know what? We all love movies, so we all enjoy talking, and that makes it okay in the end. But I can't let this go. I really can't. The conversation, and I just want to say up front, Robert, movie critic Rob, I'll link to your channel below just to show there's no hard feelings or anything, and this is mainly just for fun. Still love you, man, but I had to point this out. I'm sorry. I think it speaks volumes, and I can't believe I didn't think about it yesterday. Well, anyway, Robert shared this article, which I will also link to below, about how Anthony Hopkins, I guess he was working with Michael Bay on something. Maybe it was a Transformers movie because, I mean, what the hell else has Michael Bay made recently? I'm sorry, I got tongue-tied there. And I'm not going to edit it out. And he said that Michael Bay was a genius. What's more, he compared Bay to Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese. No! Michael Bay is not a genius. Michael Bay is nowhere close to being Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese. Now, the argument didn't get too heated, partly because I learned a hard lesson a while to not let things get too heated on these conversations. Basically, I pointed out, Michael Bay is, his movies are not good. With the exception of two really. And he has terrible scripts, lousy acting in most of his movies. Visual effects, of course, are really good. That's why people hire him. But this man is not a genius. In fact, he's so not a genius that I showed him that now famous clip of Michael Bay basically not knowing what to say in a conference when he had absolutely nothing to work with, and the question he was having to answer was, tell us about your filmmaking process, and how do you think our curved TV is going to make your movies look? Couldn't answer that question without a script. And then my friend said, oh, everyone points to that. It's like, okay, well, here's the article the interview where he basically says, yeah, I know my movies suck, I know they're terrible, but who cares if they're terrible? You'll see them anyway. And we have proved him right every single time, so shame on us. But there was something that could definitely derail my argument just a little bit if it weren't for the fact that even this thing was a problem. This is Armageddon, and it's on the Criterion collection. It's number 40, to be exact. This is an unrated cut of the film, which is really no worse than the PG-13 cut. It's just, I think, 11 minutes longer, something like that. We get 2 or 3 more explosions. Yay! Because they're not going to add character development back in. But this is a big deal because the Criterion Collection is known for having good taste. They normally don't even have the rights to the movies that they make. They normally pay other studios the rights to release movies. They restore them themselves. They are for film restoration. They have great special features, and they are about great foreign films and art house films, and they have saved movies that would have fallen into obscurity, and now they have not fallen into obscurity because they're part of the Criterion Collection. So if you're a part of the Criterion Collection, this is a big deal. It means someone looked at your movie and said, this is a great movie, and we're putting it in the collection. And film fans respect this. Now, here's the thing. I don't like every single choice the Criterion Collection makes. There's at least 2 movies of theirs that I've seen. At least. There's probably been more that I do not like, and one of them I actually will never watch again because I was just so thoroughly disgusted by it. I actually just thought it was porn. But they, by and large, they have taste. They have good quality taste. Now I'm going to mention that because I'm also going to mention why Criterion failed spectacularly in this release. Let's take a look at just some random discs that I grabbed. The Lord of the Flies. Now, one of the things about the Criterion collections that is really nice, and this is why you never want to buy them used, by the way, is the booklets. These booklets are so worth reading, and they always have not only little notes about the film, the history and stuff, but they have editorials written by either film directors, industry people, film critics, historians, major history buffs about the movies and why they're important and what you're going to get out of watching it. And while I don't recommend you read them before you watch the movie, they are very, very well informed written articles. One of my dreams is to one day write an introduction here. I don't think I'm that good of a writer to do it, but it would be a dream. The guy who wrote the editorial for Lord of the Flies was Jeffrey McNabb, and he writes for Independent Sight and Sound, The Guardian, and Screen International. He is the author of The Making of Taxi Driver, Key Moments in Cinema, Searching for the Star, Stardom in the Screen Acting in British Cinema, J. Arthur Rank, and the British Film Industry, Ingmar Bergman, The Life of Films of the Last Great European Director, and Filmcraft Producing. That is a pretty important writer, and he's writing an article explaining why Lord of the Flies is worth your time. Here's another movie, The Red Shoes. And the person who wrote the editorial for this was David Ehrstein, and he has been writing about film since 1965 for such publications as Film Culture, Film Quarterly, Film Comment, Quarts de Cinema, and Potif. His books include The Scorsese Pictures, The Art and the Life of Martin Scorsese, and Open Secrets. So, that's another one. Black Orpheus. I think this was actually an Oscar winner for Best Foreign Language Film, if memory serves. Michael Michael Atkinson. And he wrote the editorial for this one, and he writes for Sight and Sound, IFC.com, The Village Voice, and the Elle Magazine. He is the author of 7 books, including the novels Hemingway Delight and Hemingway Cutthroat. Pretty impressive career. Now, one more before we get to why I'm doing this and why this is important, because I know you guys are probably getting a little bored with me. The Rock. This is also part of the Criterion Collection, but unlike Armageddon, this is a good movie. Who wrote the article for this? Roger Ebert. I do not think I need to explain who that is. Now then, this is why this is important, because Armageddon has a booklet. It has a booklet, like everything else. And there is an editorial in here. And it's defending Armageddon being part of the collection. And it's Janine Basinger. I believe I'm saying that right. Who is Janine Basinger? She's Michael Bay's high school teacher. They couldn't even get a real critic, historian, filmmaker, anything to write a proper introduction for why Armageddon is a good movie. They probably all declined, so where do they go? They got his high school teacher. Now, here's the thing. In all fairness, I should probably mention this out. She is the author of 8 books on cinema. And her latest, which this is an old DVD, so this is probably not her latest, is Silent Stars, and will be published by Alfred K. Knopf in 1999. So yeah, this is old. And what does she say about the young Michael Bay in this book? She mainly talked about how great his photographs and shorts were, how they weren't really narratively that great, but the explosions looked good and there was good composition. This, to my knowledge, is the worst booklet that... Actually, why did I put it away? Here's the thing. You saw the other books, like how many pages there were. This is one fold-out, one-page fold-out. There's really nothing to say about Armageddon. Why it got part of the Criterion Collection, I don't know. Now, I will give everyone this. This is not the weakest booklet or Criterion release. That dishonor would go to this, which is an anthology of the Beastie Boys music videos. And this, while it has a booklet, or as they prefer to call it, an operations manual, there's actually no editorial in the booklet, just a navigation of where to find the music videos. I don't know why they did that either, and what's more insulting, this one, they picked to be number 100. But yeah, so anyway, more proof. Final word on why Michael Bay is such a lousy hack film director. Criterion Collection, for some reason, picked Armageddon to be part of their lineup, which was a mistake in and of itself. And who could they get to write his article for the booklet? His teacher, his college teacher. And not only that, they couldn't even afford more than one page. So anyway, that is Criterion's deep, dark little secret. What do you folks think? Do you agree, disagree? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. Flame responsibly. And Robert, I hope we're still friends, and hopefully you know that I'm just pulling your leg and giving you a hard time.